Also show you how a new DVD is helping parents of children with autism.
Live from the Twin Cities, this is the Fox 9 Morning News.
This is one of the little ways that she's helping her child with autism, something she put together that may help parents as well. Much better. April is Autism Awareness Month, and there's a new tool for parents of children with autism. It's a DVD that can calm a child in distress by imitating the moves they're watching on screen. And joining us is the founder, Roberta Scherf. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Now, you created this after going through some struggles with your own daughter.
Yes.
So explain how that all came about.
Well, it came about because, like a lot of other parents, we found ourselves in a situation years ago where we had this amazing child who was really frustrated with learning. And when she was very young, she struggled. She would walk into a room like this and become completely overwhelmed and shut down.
So like a sensory overload?
Huge sensory overload. We were told that she had sensory processing disorder, tactile defensiveness, was on the autism spectrum, and as frustrating as it was for us, it was much more frustrating for her.
And so one of the things are these flashcards that you put together, and there's a series of, it looks like different lines, parallel lines in this case, that are different shades of green into blue. What is the idea here?
Well, the idea there is that's a small part of the entire system, which is a multi-sensory interactive system, the heart of which is actually a DVD. That accompanies the DVD. The DVD itself includes very short segments that combine, you may see it in a minute, that combine visual shapes, which are these.
And we're looking at the DVD here.
Right, and so the visual shapes appear on the screen. There's also special music, and you can see that he's doing some slow, repetitive movements. And the movements are done by people ranging in age from under 2 years old to over 90. And what you do is you simply follow along with what you see on the screens.
And what is it about these movements that helps kind of calm down the children?
Well, the movements, along with every other part of it, was all designed specifically to activate and support a calm and attentive state by being slow, repetitive, rhythmic, and giving you something to focus on. What happens when you do this is that you are simultaneously engaging auditory, visual, motor planning, sequencing, basically physical, emotional, cognitive at the same time. So, for instance, if you are a first grade teacher and you have a class of wonderful, rambunctious, but also children who are challenged in some way, and you have them do this, what happens is that when they're doing MeMoves, they don't remember what happened to them on the bus this morning or at home. They're not thinking about who's going to take their food at lunch or push them or what they should do. They're only here. And what happens then is that there's an enormous change in the classroom in terms of learning.
It's very interesting. I mean, a lot of people have probably never seen anything quite like this before.
I think that's true.
Yeah, and what type of success have you had?
Well, for us, enormous. And I would measure that in terms of the fact that we get so many phone calls and emails every day from people who say, this has literally changed our lives. So it's a goosebump kind of work. We only released the product a year ago in January. And just by word of mouth and virally, it's now in 50 states and about half a dozen countries.
Is it something where a parent may make this part of their daily routine with their child?
Definitely. In fact, the first case study was released at the International Meeting for Autism Research last year that showed that a family with a severely autistic child did this 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and in measuring over 3 months, they found a significant change in brainwaves and behavior.
Wow. And we know it's a broad spectrum, the autism spectrum, but this can reach out to pretty much anyone who's on the spectrum? Pretty
much anyone on or off the spectrum. This is something that is being used now in so many different places for people with anxiety, depression, all ages, a lot of mainstream classrooms, and we're just starting to do some work with seniors.
Yeah, well, we know there are so many families who are touched by autism, and so obviously this could be another tool that could help. You're going to be speaking at the Autism Society of Minnesota Conference today.
That's correct.
And so we wish you all the best, and thanks for stopping by with your
Thank you very much.
Your new tool to help, Roberta Scherf. For more information on the MeMoves DVD, you can log on to Thinkingmoves.com. That is Thinkingmoves.com. Right now, let's get over to Keith Marler. We're talking